Our friends at Nexgen were kind enough to send me their Carbon Flex ceramic coating. Now this product is billed as a very high-end coating. It's supposed to last for 6 years with maintenance. It's supposed to improve paint clarity, create hydrophobic properties that we all love. They also claim they have wide spectrum UV protection, and I will test that, and we'll talk about that testing at the end of the video. And also, they do claim to use carbon as part of their technology here in order to further improve ceramic coatings. To get the most out of the coating, I was also sent the ceramic spray, which is supposed to go on top of the coating after the application is done, and it's supposed to double the life. I think pretty much every consumer would say, well, yeah, I have to use both products. So I'm really gonna treat them as a combined kit. I think you would be remiss to not apply something that's saying it's gonna make the product twice as good, right? So let's find out just how good all this stuff is, and let's move on to the testing. The presentation in the box is really nice. We get a little applicator, we've got some documentation, the little bottle, and of course our topper, that's also part of the package that I got from Nexgen. We're gonna shake the product up, and we're gonna apply about 15 to 20 drops. It's definitely high solids based on all that trash there. And now we can just start applying. The instructions call out using a crosshatch back and forth motion, leaving a thick layer of coating and 100% coverage. I picked up this hood from a junkyard a few years ago, and for every test I polish it up with Meguiar's 205, and then I properly decontaminate it so that we could do our testing. Definitely has a little tack to it coming on. I'm gonna let this stuff sit for about 3 minutes, and then we'll start to wipe it up and see how it feels. We're right at around 3 minutes, and it does appear to be flashing. Let's give it a shot. Oh, that's wiping off very easily. I was a little worried based on how tacky it went on. I'm gonna use the other side of the towel, but you could use a separate, different towel for the final wipe down. And whenever you're doing a coating, you definitely wanna look down and kind of make sure that you're getting all the high spots out on your final pass. Now we're gonna give this 45 minutes, come back and apply the topper. It's been right at 50 minutes. We'll shake this bottle up. The ease of application is rated on a subjective scale of 10 to -10. I really think this is overall not super challenging, but the product is a little tacky during application. I also think the need to apply a second product, and I know it's not required, it's optional, but I think if you say it's gonna double the performance in terms of durability, people are gonna feel like they have to do it. I'm gonna go with a 5 for this. It's not hard. I need just 1 second of your time. Down below in the description, I have affiliate links to the products and tools that we're using in this video. If you've been enjoying the video and you click through and purchase anything at all on those websites, I'll receive a small commission that helps run this channel. With the product applied, let's figure out if it looks pretty. Visual appeal is subjective, and I rate this on a scale of a +10 to a -10. We will also average the score between this red test hood and a black panel that I'll show you in just a second. As you can see, I've placed the blue marker on this red panel, and the product is on the left side of the marker. Overall, I really think this product looks great on the red. It is fairly striking. Here's another angle where now it's on the right side of the marker. I think anybody would love this on their car. It's just really deep, really pretty. Absolutely a 10 on the red. And here is the black panel, and we can see just how amazing the product looks on the black. I'd say it's even more striking than the red. Personally, if I had a black car, I would definitely consider this product. It's really, really pretty. And of course, for the score on this black, I will go with a 10 as well. Given that we gave the red a 10, of course, we're averaging to a 10. This is a very pretty product. Let's use the gloss meter to determine if the panel has lost or gained gloss with the application of the product. We'll make sure the gloss meter is reading 104 at 20 degrees on the calibration slide, and then we'll take 10 readings that we'll average out. For our first reading, it looks like we're getting 87.3 gloss units. Points will be awarded or taken away for any gain or loss in gloss up to a 1/10 of a gloss unit. And over here in the middle, we're looking at 85. When this panel is polished for every test, it reads 94 gloss units on average. All right, 86.5 over here. It's not really a measure of prettiness, more so a measure of how shiny the object is. 84, 87.6, 84.5. I saw 88.0 there, it moved when I touched it. And we've got 88.8, 88.3, and 87.5. And we've got 867.5 total gloss points across 10. We'll divide that by 10 to average. And of course, we got 86.75 We'll subtract 94, which is our baseline, and it means we lost 7.3 gloss units. Now that is pretty significant, and you may be wondering why we're losing gloss units here. And the reason is it's very hard to apply something to a panel that you've high polished with machine polishing and expect that number to go up. So look, 96 over there, and again over here, 86.5. So yeah, pretty big loss. When applying products such as ceramic coatings to paint, you are trying to also improve the slickness of the paint, which is a great way to reduce marring, swirls, and scratches. Today we'll objectively score how slick this product is by measuring the static coefficient of friction. We'll take 5 readings and get an average. 150 grams, 120, 120 again, 150, and we'll take our final reading, 170. So we've got 710 grams total. We'll divide that by 5 to get our average. Because we know the block weighs 1,040 grams, we'll divide that by 1,040, and that gives us a static coefficient of friction of 0.14 rounded up. This panel is polished before every test, and without any product applied, they average out to 0.38 as the static coefficient of friction. To get our slickness score, we'll subtract 0.14 from 0.38, and we'll see that 0.24 was our delta. Now we'll take that delta and multiply it by 30, which is our score factor, and it gives us 7.2 points. So this product will get a positive 7.2. It did pretty well in this test. Durability can be a huge factor when deciding if a product is right for you. I've devised an objective and repeatable test that will give us a great way to compare products. Now, before we do any testing, I want to take a look at the hydrophobicity of the Nexgen Carbon Flex. I would say the product definitely shows some really good hydrophobic characteristics. I'd be very happy with that. We've got our test panel locked into the alcometer, and the machine will scrub a terry-covered applicator in a predictable wear pattern at 30 RPM while dispensing shampoo for lubrication. We're pre-soaking the applicators with our shampoo solution. I squirted a little bit of it onto the panel to prevent a dry start. The scoring, which I'll show you on your screen now, is done in buckets of 0, 10, 20, 50, 100, 300, and 1,000. I've dialed in 10 washes into the machine, which will automatically prompt it to stop. While durability and longevity are different things, there's a clear and consistent correlation between high durability and high longevity products. Longevity can, of course, be affected by factors like temperature, chemical interactions, and other unique aspects of your environment. After 10 washes, is the Carbon Flex still good? I think it's clearly working very well still. Let's put this back in the machine and we'll do 10 more for a total of 20. 20 in. Can the Nexgen hold out? Very nice. No signs of any sort of failure yet. We're going up to 50 washes. Washes in. I want to see how is that Nexgen doing. Is there any wear? Man, the Nexgen still looks perfect. I don't see any wear at all. Going to 100 washes now. That's looking great after 100 scrubs. 300 washes now. Amazingly enough, yes, I think I'm just starting to see the very first faint marks of any sort of wear, but they're so teeny tiny, I'm not even sure. Maybe my brain's making it up. Going to a massive 1,000 washes now. With 1,000 washes done, is the Nexgen Carbon Flex ceramic still working? I would say it's working very well. It's still showing very minimal damage. At this point, we will stop and give it a 1,000 score, but I will throw it in the machine to 3,000 for an unofficial test, just to see if it can make it that far. Let's talk a little about what I liked, what I didn't like, what could be improved. I think this product has some very, very good qualities. I did ding it just a little bit because there are a few nuances to it, like we talked about through the video. Even if you've never done a coating, I think as long as you try it on a small area and kind of get a feel for it, you'll be fine. As far as visual appeal, I think this looked very good from a depth perspective. It had a very strong candy coat. As far as slickness, I would say it's just not king of the hill, but it's very competitive with other products. Now, of course, the durability is what everyone wants to hear about. We saw it stop at 1,000. That's an amazing result. But what happened at that 3,000 mark? Well, I can tell you that the product was actually kind of close to being completely wiped off by that 3,000 mark, but it was still working just a little bit. Beast of a product from a durability perspective. I do have to point out that there are a few negative areas, as with any product. So if we were looking at that gloss meter, we saw a pretty big step down. That is above average. It still looked incredibly pretty, but as I was showing my friends, if you kind of caught the angle in it just right, it's almost, you can actually see how much less light is reflecting, where the line is between the coating and the bare polished paint. Try to catch one of the lights halfway through the line, like the light reflection is less. It's like dimmer. Yeah, like look at the line like right here and put one of those lights halfway through the line in your field of vision.
It's not reflecting as much.
UV was something I mentioned in the beginning of the video. The product does claim to have wide spectrum UV in theory. That should be ABC, all of the UV. And we do some UVA testing in the form of transmission, but also light emission where you can use some samples to test. I did not find any results in this product like I never do with any products. So I can't really give it any score for that. It's not a big deal to me. I already kind of like expect that that's every product. I just never see any results. So the final question, would I recommend this product? And I think it's a resounding absolutely yes. Now, if you are curious about product rankings, I do have a website down below in the description with a table where you could see past results. If you're a first-time viewer, I do quite a bit of nerdy detailing testing content. I also do more general detailing content showing you how to do stuff or fixing something up. I'm also into modding cars and doing builds, as well as some general repairs. So there is something here for everybody that's a car enthusiast. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that bell so that you get notifications, and I'll catch you again in a future video real soon.